like about this album. I think they have a neat kind of instrumental aspect to them. Some of my favorite.
They do. There's
some of
two
my favorite
instrumentals.
tracks in this album. There's 2 instrumentals. That's 2 of my favorite tracks in this album. Believe it or not.
Yeah, I agree. I always loved instrumentals, man. This one was written by Eddie. Cool, that flanger on his. He's got a bunch of keyboard stuff going on. I love the 7th in the bass. What? This is just drums, bass, and keyboards. No guitar.
Oh, the bass player. Yeah. He's a long-time member, too. He got in with them pretty quickly as well. Yeah.
Nigel Grace.
Yeah, it's a live version of this. Jamming away. In fact, it's almost like highlighting him.
I like this break. I love that in the keyboard. Here we go again. What chord is that right there? Interesting, yeah. Yeah, cool bass line. Chugging along.
Eddie had a CS82. We were talking about China Crisis. You know what? China Crisis should have done instrumentals.
Yeah, well, you know, they did. Well, what's his name did?
Yeah, I know.
Eddie did.
No. Gary
But
did.
not Eddie. Gary, yeah. I think there's the guitar going down that lick right there. Now the guitar is coming up.
Love this. Nice resolution.
Yeah. It is.
Chorus on the bass.
Bass lick right there. Yeah, he's got a chorus on it. I must have just turned on that bass button.
Yeah.
Cool one. Short, but nice little interlude, man.
And just kind of addictive.
And let's go. Can we go right? Can we
I
get
see
right
how
into
you
it? Because
are.
I always hear this one coming right into it. Yes.
There
we go. I love this song.
I may look like a fool to you, but I don't come that cheap. I wouldn't lose my head at the crack of dawn and not in front of any old sunset. I may succumb someday, but hey, it hasn't happened yet. I wouldn't dream of it, I wouldn't dream of it, I wouldn't dream of it.
This is Tim.
No, I wouldn't dream of it, I wouldn't
Classic
dream
Tim.
of it.
The clever lyrics, you know.
No, I wouldn't dream of it.
And those harmonics, the chromatic kind of.
By candlelight, I'm not a movie
harmonies.
star in Moritz, and I'm not a prince in a fairy tale looking for the foot that fits.
Cinderella.
I wouldn't dream of asking you to stay.
Yeah, him and Neil sound great together.
That far, and I'm not about to leave myself with all my doors ajar.
Keyboards, cool keyboard
I
sound.
wouldn't dream of it, I wouldn't dream of it, I wouldn't dream of it, no.
I love the chromatic half step up chord change. DJ. Another half step. Yeah. Cool. Renjeaux playing the little percussions. And there's that keyboard sound. Eddie's creative keyboard sound. And I love that groove. It's just got a cool groove.
I wouldn't dream of it. I wouldn't dream of it. No, no. I wouldn't dream of it. I wouldn't dream of it. I wouldn't
Double time on the snare.
No, no. I wouldn't dream of it. I wouldn't dream of it. I wouldn't dream of it. No, no. I wouldn't dream of it.
I like
And then they get this cool, and I love this jam key change.
You know what this
right to the
reminds me
end.
of?
Oh, yeah.
Supertramp.
Yeah. Yes. The keyboard melodies, and then Tim comes back in here and starts wailing up here. Yeah. I love it. Love it. Just such a cool. I love that song, man. That's another one of those songs that every part of that song is cool.
Well, I
and
do love the way it
catchy
ends. I know that.
You know?
I always wait around for the ending of it.
Well, well, I love every part of that song, but the end is especially cool. Yes, yeah, and that's a thing about that song is that every part of the song is cool, but then once you're like, every part of this song is cool, but now it's even cooler. You know, so yeah.
Yeah, that was kind of one of those. That's the thing about Split Enz to me. It's almost like you can hear influences, but there's like such a twisted filter on it. You know, it's just like you said, it's Tim's wacky lyrics or something like that. But
yeah, clever
Right.
lyrics and yeah, and then the way they change keys, they'll take it, do a half step key change,
right,
you know. That's a thing about this whole album. It happens on I Got You. It happens on this song. It happens on What's the Matter with You? That they take their theme and then they just they all move up a half step, change key, and it's a thing on this album, and they do it on the next album too. And it's just such a thing that a lot of bands don't do. A lot of artists don't do it. Pop artists. It's a common thing in classical music, jazz, you know, change key. Let's change the
Right.
key. And that, you know, changes the feel of the song. It allows us not only just to extend it, but it maintains interest,
right.
It builds tension. And they're just really good at that. So, yeah, I mean, this is such a cool album. And when I heard this album, it was just like, it was another landmark kind of new sound.
So you had
for
this
me,
on
you know?
Keith. I think Keith had this on 8-track.
8-track. It was my first probably 24 albums were 8
And this
tracks.
was one of them.
You know, before we got into.
And they would what song would
It
song would it
was,
break
and-
up in the middle of?
It didn't. This one they had to change the program, the order of the songs
Yeah.
totally to fit to fit on the 8-track without breaking up songs, which was cool.
A lot of bands
I-
didn't do that. There's so many.
in a lot
I
of-
had some stories
They
too.
would
I
just
forget whatever I'd listened to on 8-track. The few they had.
Grand Illusion, Grand
Split
Illusion,
songs.
Styx Grand Illusion. What song was on? Yeah, the second side, and it just drove me crazy. It's just such a thing, but I didn't know any better. Those were my first albums, and so I learned the songs with those breaks in them. And then when I heard the full songs, I was like, "Hey, wow,
What a-
wow! There's no break in this song. They don't fade it out."